It's another side that like wants to take more. It wants to go that one more round. Because going that one more round when you don't think you can, that's what makes all the difference in your life. You know what I mean?
Good day and welcome to another episode of One More Around, the Rocky Series podcast. I'm your host, Ryan, and with me today, we have the lovely Katie and the more lovely guest co-host, Jared. How you doing?
I'm doing great, gang. It's great to be here with my Rocky friends.
Oh, and he's bringing us that velvet voice.
Yes.
Not only does he have a gray coiffed hair, he's got the silky smooth voice. He's just a dream. He does not have a face for podcasting. He belongs everywhere. In fact, he is on the screen. You can see him now.
I'm out of focus. I don't know what's wrong.
Well, it's a filter.
I'm blushing too. You better stop it.
It's a filter. It makes you look 35,
even
though you're only 38. But okay. Yeah. All right. Jared, why don't you let people know where you're from if they don't know already?
Oh, I am the co-host of the Hyperspace. Podcasting in the 25th century. We say it's the first and only podcast. It is in the 25th century. That's the only podcast left. But wow. I do enjoy being on your podcast as well. And we just talk about nerdy stuff, Star Wars, Star Trek, and all that stuff. And come give us a listen if you like that kind of thing.
I'm sure people do. I do appreciate your willingness to come on. And I will say this, Katie is going to be going on more vacations in May. So if you're not too busy, I know you got some stuff coming up, but if you're not too busy, I'm going to reach out to you as well for a couple of fill-ins for that.
Just let me know.
The reason why Kyle's not here, he's fired from the show. I should have started with that. I apologize. Yeah, his comments have been highly inappropriate lately, and he's been kicked off the airwaves.
Oh, man. Can I submit my resume, Ryan?
Yeah, we got an opening. You get to make lots of money on the show, I'll tell you. Rolling it.
I love this show. I love doing this show.
We love having you here. Kyle, he wasn't able to record today. We're recording on a Saturday. Behind the Curtain Vice is Sunday because I'm traveling tomorrow to be out of town for a week to do some training. That's all I can tell you. But I have to do some training next week, and I have to go on the road and drive. So I had to record on the Saturday. So thank you for stepping in, Jared. Okay.
No problem.
All right. Before we get rocking and rolling, Katie, I think we got the fan mail popped this week.
Indeed. We have one from Donald. Fun fact about Rocky V toys. Dear Ryan, Kyle, and Katie, you asked for emails, and here it is. Congratulations on another fantastic Rocky season. Your coverage is, as always, excellent. Since you're approaching the Santa Paulie scene, I thought I'd share an interesting tidbit from the Rocky V toy world. We all know that movies often get toy lines, and it's no surprise that the most produced action figure for Rocky V was Rocky Balboa. However, because Rocky doesn't step into the ring in this installment, his toy was just him in street clothes. At that time, it was considered boring for kids to play with and not visually exciting for adult collectors to display. The film's reputation as the worst in the franchise didn't help toy sales either. As a result, you can still find the overproduced and undersold Rocky V Rocky toys at relatively low prices. On the other hand, Paulie didn't usually receive many toy releases, but for Rocky V, he got a Santa Paulie variant figure as part of the toy line. Because it's a variation of an already somewhat rare figure, Santa Paulie is now considered Rocky V toy gold among collectors. The last one sold on eBay went for hundreds of dollars. It's amusing to think that in this world, Paulie could actually outsell Rocky. Keep punching, Donald.
Thanks, Donald. That's a great email, and he's a faithful listener of the show. I didn't know this, but hearing the information, that's not surprising that something that you would think, it's just Paulie in a Santa outfit, would be more popular today than obviously just Rocky wearing his outfit again from the first Rocky film. It's for kids or collectors, it doesn't seem as glamorous. My favorite Rocky toy, though, is actually the slab of meat that you can buy. Have you seen that? You can actually buy the slab of meat that Rocky punches in the first Rocky film.
Are you being serious?
Oh yeah, that's a real thing.
Wow.
Like hanging from a thing, or
I don't know if it comes with a hanging item.
oh my god.
I'm
Okay,
looking this-
I'm going to blame the wardrobe department in Rocky 5 because I think Rocky 5 street clothes, if Rocky was in better street clothes that showed him his physique more, even adult collectors would like that. If they had him in that sweet sweater, that would have been better.
The Christmas sweater. They should have had the Balboa family Christmas set.
Yeah.
We're going to be covering that scene today. The sweater, Robert with the earring hanging. You imagine if they had Robert hanging the earring from his ear or something as well.
The daughter I never had.
A line that would not exist today, probably.
Did they make toys at the time this movie was out, or did these Rocky figures? I know they did a whole series of them, like in the early 2000s. But
are you saying was this a toy that was actually made in 1990? Or are you saying?
Yes,
I don't know.
Okay, interesting.
I didn't even know there were Rocky toys. I literally didn't even know that.
Yeah.
Until recently, I showed last year, the year before, some of the Rocky, like the cars and stuff. Like I have Gazzo's car and Rocky's car from Rocky 2. But I thought those were just like a new thing, that like it was like a retro nostalgia play.
They had these 6-inch figures out like in the early 2000s from every movie all the way through Balboa. And it was Rocky and his different trunks and different outfits and all the characters. Even George Washington Duke in his big fur coat. It's pretty crazy.
If you can make $1, somebody will make $1.
There we go. So
that's them.
There you go. So there's George Washington Duke. It looks like a bathrobe, though. It looks like a bathrobe. It doesn't look like
it does.
How much is that? What are they selling it for?
$125.
Oh my gosh.
There you go. Then here's the street clothes one. Maybe that's what they're referring to there.
It's only $80. It's less than George Washington Duke.
Man, 2007. Yeah. I remember seeing these at Toys R Us.
Why does Tommy look like that? He looks like
that just doesn't look like Tommy at all.
Here's a close-up of it. There you go.
Man.
Ooh, that one on the far right, I like. Ooh, and the robot. How did I not know these existed?
Okay, where's the Santa? I guess I got to actually put.
Just type
Santa.
in like maybe Santa figure.
There it is.
There it is.
Look at that! Wow, what are they selling that for?
Oh, here's one on eBay. $500.
Oh my gosh.
$500 on eBay.
Look at that figure. Good grief.
Look, it comes with the bald spot.
I know,
These are bad. These are really bad. The likeness is terrible.
It's rare. It is rare. You can buy it for $500. So that's the real thing. There it is in package.
Man, that is crazy.
That's funny. Thanks, Donald. That was a fun little
that was fun. Thank you.
trip. Yeah.
The next one is from Michael of the Screen Nerds podcast. He's checking in. Hey, Ryan, Katie, and Kyle, and Jared now. I was just thinking of you all while watching the new Jason Statham film, A Working Man, this past weekend, which I reviewed for my podcast. I was surprised to learn that Sly himself co-wrote the film alongside director David Ayer. I didn't realize he had a hand in it until I saw his name in the opening credits while sitting in the theater. Ooh, even went to the theater. Anyway, keep up the great work as always. Best, Michael.
David Ayer is an interesting director. He's done some great films like End of Watch. I enjoy his movies. He did Dark Blue with Kurt Russell. Again, The Suicide Squad. Then he did The Beekeeper, which is a very successful film with Jason Statham. But the Working Man film, I did know that Sly worked on it. I wonder how much he actually wrote, probably a little bit of the dialogue.
Cool. Then we have one from Vic Arone. He says, keep up the great work. Hello, all. I sent an email a while back, but maybe it didn't make it through. Ryan, what's happening here?
I know. I need a secretary. The network is so big and vast that I get lost in all the fan mail. Like, it's overwhelming. Yeah.
He says, perhaps Kyle's onto something. I had to dig up an old computer, set up an account, and even take a 6-week course on computer technology. Then I had to sign up for the internet. Kyle
has been really discouraging our listeners from email and saying how difficult it is to email. I apologize, Vic, for the journey. I apologize.
And thank you for going through all of that.
Oh,
Especially that 6-week course.
Yeah.
He says, no, seriously, I'm such a fan that I would write every week. I get really excited when you read my emails and I make my wife listen. She says, oh my God, again, leave those poor people alone. But I tell her, no, Ryan wants people to write in.
That's right. You need a new wife. That's what you need.
Maybe you're getting fewer message because of the tariffs. Are 25% fewer emails crossing the border now? There's something to that, I think.
Need more Canadians writing to me. Where's my Canadian listener?
Yeah. Good point. Good point. Yeah. There's a lot of solidarity now amongst the Canadians. Where are the emails? He says, I think I speak for all the listeners when I say you have the best podcast out there. I was going to say that Kyle is the brains, Katie is the beauty, and Ryan is the heart, but that's not true. Each of you has brains, beauty, and heart, and the warmth and love for Rocky comes through in every episode. Aw, I love that you made us not into typical stereotypes.
Oh.
And apparently Ryan and Kyle's love for redheads with big knockers. Knockers, that's a fun word.
I love it. That's a great word.
Come on, guys. She looks 45. Yes, she's on my side. She does look 45. No offense to 45-year-olds, but...
Yeah, you're right. She does look older. Jared, do you think Karen in the Rocky film looks older than... Do you think she looks 45, even though she's not?
I don't think she looks 45. She does look older than Tommy, though. Way older.
She's older than Tommy. I think she's just a little bit more weathered.
You could say that.
Okay. He says, get poor Tommy a younger woman. Last episode was very risque with Kyle talking about swinging, big boobs, and adult films. Just another reason why this podcast is the best. You never know what you're going to get is the point, I think.
I know. The tenders are terrible.
I'll leave you with an actual Rocky V question. But what do you guys think happens the day after? It's all well and good that Rocky knocks Tommy out, but Tommy is still the heavyweight champion. Wouldn't it be funny if he continues to fight and stays the champ for years, gaining fame and millions? It's certainly embarrassing to lose to Rocky on the street, but that doesn't take away his title. Anyway, keep up the great work, and I'll definitely keep listening. Victor from New York, USA. P.S. Justice for Kyle. I, too, think Paulie lives at the gym. If he was staying at the house, wouldn't he have the old basement while Robert slept upstairs near his parents? LOL, I love this ongoing debate. I think you're forgetting that this is 1990, and adults were far more important than kids at this time. The adult would always get preferential bedroom access.
But you think Paulie would love to have the skank bank basement down there? You know what I mean? Like he'd have that.
No, he's a full-on adult. He needs his creature comfort.
It's a good argument, though. I do appreciate it. And I do appreciate that the debate goes on forever. Now, that is an interesting thought experiment. We haven't really talked about what does happen to Tommy's career, so to speak. He is technically the champion of the world. He holds the belt. He doesn't lose the belt just because he lost to Rocky in the street fight. And if Rocky doesn't press charges, but the police arrest Tommy at the end, like why? Why though?
Assault. I don't know.
But so Rocky fought too.
It's a movie. I do think that there's massive embarrassment, and then he loses his confidence and loses the magic, as they say.
I always thought it ended in disgrace for him. Yeah, maybe he didn't even fight again. He just gave up the title
or the boxing commission. Yeah, maybe it was like because of the
legal street fight. Maybe
like
business,
like some sort of it goes against the rules and whatnot.
Yeah, if you think about this was like truly real, think of some real names. Kyle's better at naming all the real life boxers, but can you imagine? Let's say Tyson back 25 years ago fights whoever the champion was at the time after him or whatever. Or sorry, Tyson was the champion, let's say. And he just starts.
It would have been like Sugar Ray Leonard or something. Yeah.
Like just starts attacking him in the street at a restaurant. It would be very bad for business. So at the end of the day, it would just look bad to dude, you're the champion of the world and you're fighting the ex-champion who was a beloved person in the street. Yeah. It's going to look bad for business at the end of the day. Yeah.
So but yeah, you're right. Yeah. Good question. Good thought experiment for sure.
In theory, he could have turned his life around, held onto the belt, and said, I'm not repented, so to speak. But I tend to believe that he probably just fell apart.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I think we got a couple of YouTube comments as well. Great emails, by the way, guys. Thank you so much.
Indeed. Yeah, they came through. We have a couple, I should say, from Andy Grew. Ryan, you read it right. Tommy versus Kane could have served as a gradual fall to the dark side. That could have made for an interesting scene, especially if told from Rocky's perspective. Imagine watching him lose the kid in real time and then it all culminating in their fight.
Yeah, so Rocky's in the corner. This is his version. This is an interesting angle for this because we see in the movie, he goes, "I'd like to thank the person who's been on my shoulder, like an angel on my shoulder, George." But imagine if he said that while Rocky was still his ring man. Rocky's in the corner of the ring, and we as an audience, we're blown away with this revelation. But imagine if we were tricked with Rocky as an audience, like we're cheering for Tommy. We're happy he won. Rocky's excited. We don't really think he's turned to the dark side. All of a sudden, he just, what? He's thanking George. He's been working with George this whole time. And the betrayal for the audience and Rocky to feel at the same time would have been an interesting movie experience.
Interesting.
And then you have the street fight later, all the same, however you get. But the idea being that, we really hate this guy. Because the Rocky would have been the corner. It would have been a great acting moment for Slide to have that look of like embarrassed because he's supposed to be excited for his student who's won the belt, but now he's feeling like embarrassment and shame and betrayal at the same time. That would have been an interesting scene to act, all those emotions.
Bottom line, Rocky, as he himself predicted, was a crummy manager.
Yeah. He redeems himself in the Creed films a bit, but...
True. Yeah. Also, here's one for all of you. At one point, it's clear Tommy gets a sponsorship. What is it? It's Googleable. Try not to.
Jared, do you remember? I don't remember. So I guess he got some sort of sponsorship in the film. Andy's saying that we can't Google it. He wants to know if we know off the top of our head. I don't.
No. Okay. The only thing that comes to mind for me is Tommy, the stuff he's wearing after the fight. Do you guys remember the brand Pony?
No, I don't.
They're like sneakers. It's like Adidas or Nike, but this was a kind of a bigger brand back in the 80s and early 90s called Pony. And Tommy is decked out in Pony stuff.
That might be it then.
That might be
so
it. Good call.
I don't know. Check my work because I don't know if that's it.
Yeah. So those are Pony sneakers. I've never heard of.
I haven't either.
Wow.
Interesting.
Jared.
Okay.
So let me see if this is in Rocky 5. Is that the, that didn't come up. So what is how would I Google this?
What sponsorship did Tommy get?
Does anyone know who's listening? That's weird. I wonder what it is. I like the pony idea.
I do too.
If you're saying he's wearing pony shoes there, Jared, that's a good call.
Yeah.
Michael says here, in real life, such athletes that were sponsored by Pony were Dan Marino, Reggie Jackson, and boxers Muhammad Ali, George Foreman, Larry Holmes, and Leon Spinks. I've never heard of this brand, but yet this brand has sponsored some big players.
Interesting.
Wow. Okay. All right. What did Andy say next? He gives us a couple. Thanks, Andy, for that, though. We got some research to do. Yeah.
Sorry, I was asking ChatGPT.
Everyone's looking for the answer.
I know. We're looking at our phones.
He says he can search for it and find out, but it's not as easy as just punching it in, I guess. So I don't know what he's talking about. That's interesting.
According to ChatGPT, it says no actual company sponsors him.
Yeah.
No corporate logos, blah, blah, blah.
That's his shoe that's apparently was in a Planet Hollywood at one time.
Well, he does have white. Yeah, he always wears white and blue. Yeah. So that tracks.
I had these screen use shoes for $1,500.
That's it?
Sweet.
They were displayed in a Planet Hollywood.
So I'm going to go with Pony. I don't remember Tommy having a sponsorship the way we see in Rocky 3 or Shamrock Meats or something like that. I don't recall him like hockeying anything.
Yeah, you remember in Rocky 4, everybody has the boss shirts on.
Yeah. So I think that's maybe that's what Andy's talking about.
I like the Pony idea. Okay. Also, I didn't know that was a brand.
Yeah, I didn't know. I've never heard of it. Yeah.
Okay, so then Andy says, doesn't Rocky bring up the subject of sex from a trainer's perspective in Creed?
The point is that he brings it up with Tommy as well. Tommy disobeyed him, but actually Adonis didn't. He couldn't rein Tommy, and Tommy goes, my legs won't get weak, where Adonis...
He did leave Bianca and Adonis together in the hotel when they were in London.
Then we have a comment from Eccentric Views YouTube channel, which is Gino, our favorite Italian Australian. Wow, Ryan, you like Rocky 5 over Rocky Balboa? Big call. But I actually agree with you, mate. Jared's got issues.
There's just a lot of crazy people on this podcast. I tell you what.
Okay, because we all know what makes Rocky 5 what it is. We get it. Objectively, why is Rocky Balboa a better Rocky film or story than Rocky 5? Why do you think it's better?
Of course, this is all subjective. For me personally, I think Rocky Balboa represents almost a meta thing around Stallone himself. Years later, 16 years after Rocky V, Stallone, he had a lot of troubles and everything, and he found his way back to this character. And I think that the story in the film, of course, echoes a lot of that real world stuff. And that resonated with me. And I appreciated it so much because I loved being able to go to the movies in 2006 and see another Rocky movie
Of course. Yeah.
that no one ever thought that you were ever going to see again.
Me included.
Yeah. And I appreciate that it's different. It does have a different feel than the films. 1 through 5 can almost be a separate box set. Like Balboa, Creed 1 and 2, they're almost a trilogy. And I appreciate the fact that it looked different, that they used HD cameras with the they brought it into the 21st century. Rocky V, Stallone was really trying to hold on to something that wasn't there anymore. He was trying to make Rocky Balboa 15 years too early with Rocky V. Rocky Balboa, it's a story that reflected his age. As he's getting older, he's losing people and losing things in his life. And I think with Rocky V, he wanted to do that, but he skipped past all the tough stuff. It's okay, well, I want Rocky to be down on his luck and brain damage and all this stuff. You don't really feel that because Rocky hadn't been away for that long. A lot of the things in Rocky V are very contrived to bring him to this low point.
Yeah,
and it's all very accelerated, and it doesn't feel organic or natural to me. With Balboa, you have 16 years since you've seen him, and that's why it feels real to me. There's things about Rocky V that you guys have talked about that trap it firmly in 1990 with the music choices and the editing choices and stuff like that. Balboa feels a little more modern, but it feels more timeless to me and almost a better bookend to the series. You could watch Rocky and Rocky Balboa.
Yeah, I agree.
Back to back.
It makes sense. It would still make sense.
Yes.
Yeah. Those are good points. The funny thing is, I don't disagree with anything you're saying. Everything you're saying is absolutely, as a Rocky fanatic that I am, it's all true. That's the funny thing. Everything you're saying is absolutely true. Here's the irony of Rocky Balboa. We have it because 5 was a failure. Yeah. If 5 was a box office success, for whatever reason, let's just pretend it made more money than Rocky 4. Let's pretend it was critically like in the 70s, like Rotten Tomatoes. It was just like people loved it, critics loved it, and it was like, wow, it actually ended very well in that universe. We would never have had Rocky Balboa. So everything you're saying is true, Jared. Like, it was his redemption story. It was Sly's chance to say, you know what? I'm not a shitey writer. I am actually a good actor. I'm going to redeem this character, the story. I'm going to give it the ending it deserves before it's too late, before I get too old. I'm going to do it now. So the story of how it came to the screen, much like Rocky 1, is beautiful. Like, the behind the scenes stuff elevates the movie. The problem is, objectively, now we're going back to this movie. The movie exists because Rocky V was a failure. And this is the irony here. Because we have Rocky Balboa now properly ending the kind of the Rocky story, Rocky V, ironically, is a better film. Because I
agree with that.
Is that weird?
Because it's not the end.
It's not this is just a chapter. This isn't the final Rocky film. So when this movie ends, you're not thinking, oh, really? That's it? We got another great Rocky film. This is just tells you how he got here. This tells you how he's back in Philly. This is such an important part of the canon.
No, I think it's absolutely indispensable, Rocky V, as far as the chronology. And you have to have Rocky V or you don't have Balboa.
And so when Balboa came out, I was like, it's amazing. I love it, and I still love it. Don't get me wrong. But there's this weird growth that seems to be happening with the 5th film. Whereas Rocky Balboa, can you believe it? It came out 19 years ago.
Oh my God.
Believe that?
Yeah.
I know. So it's weird that as Rocky V, since the time of Rocky Balboa's release, for me, has increased in value, and Balboa weirdly has. I find it. I don't know what it is. I love the film, but it hasn't increased. To put it that way, Rocky V has definitely increased in value, where Rocky Balboa has held steady, if not. There's more flaws in it than I maybe cared to admit at the time because I was so excited that it did well. There you go.
He basically redid the bookend. I think both of you have very eloquently stated your thoughts on it, and I wholeheartedly agree with both.
I do too. It's tough.
Both movies to me are the least watched, so I don't recall them as well. I see what you're saying about the story itself. Like the nostalgia factor is huge for Balboa, but if you take that away, is the story is good? I think that makes sense, Ryan. But I do think like from a quality film perspective, 6 is better. But that doesn't change. Like my favorite movie to watch is Rocky 4. It's not the best in quality, but it's the most enjoyable for me to watch. Both 5 and 6 to me are the least enjoyable, in large part because I really don't care for the opponents in either movie.
That's the issue too. And here I'll say this: Tommy Morris is a more engaging antagonist than Mason Line Dixon. Don brings up a good point that Rocky 5 also enhances Creed. Creed gives Rocky another chance to manage a career. So it's like a redemption story for Rocky as a manager, where he failed in the 5th film. It's an interesting discussion. Yeah, thank you, Jared, for saying that. I didn't say it as eloquently when Jared heard that episode. He goes, "What? What?" The headline is Ryan says Rocky 5 is better than Rocky. That's the headline. But it makes for a good discussion as to why. How do we get there? Why are we there? But again, like Jared, of course, Katie, I've been a fan of these films for decades, and it's just interesting how Rocky 5 has increased in value. But I can't say that in 19 years about Balboa. That's the discussion where one film has increased in value, the other one, it hasn't in 19 years. So that's an interesting discussion. That much I can say. Yeah. Okay. All right. Here we go, folks. We're going into the film. So, Jared, I'm excited to have you here with our watch along. I think I've got it lined up to where we were, give or take. So we're at the scene now where George, of course, is telling Tommy that the parade is going by. He's got Karen there popping out of her dress at the Christmas party. And yeah. Oh, here's a question for you, Jared. Would you rather be at this Christmas party or at the Balboas if you were 19?
Oh, man. I don't know.
You're 19. You're 19 and single, and you got to.
Okay. If people are handing me $20,000 checks, I'd have to pick George's Christmas party.
However, here's something that we forget. Rocky was his idol. Even if you're a horny 19-year-old, if you get to spend it with Sylvester Stallone.
Now, let me tell you something, Katie. It's not your fault. It's not your fault. The power that a woman has over a man at that age it's hard to describe.
It's like in the Seinfeld episode where Elaine is complaining about her date. He said he had to get up early in the morning. And Jerry and George are like, men will always sacrifice sleep for sex. So he doesn't like you, Elaine.
Oh yeah. I have sacrificed sleep for that. Yes. Okay. All right.
Where you going? You're going to be watching the parade go by.
Exactly.
Tommy, you haven't had the big payday yet, and you won't until you fight those top contenders, and those top contenders, Tommy, boy, I do surely own. I got the contracts.
So he owns the top contenders. He makes it very clear. I never caught that till this watching, after 100 times watching this film, that George Dukes does this with his fist. Those top contenders, he makes boxing motions with his hands there. I never caught that before. He imitates a boxer stance in that moment. So he's got the contracts. He owns everybody. He's the dungeon master. This is when I pause. This is when you guys can say anything you want. You don't have to.
No further comment.
No further comment. Okay.
Yeah.
I like to give the courtesy pause before I hit play again. I do talk a lot, but I will stop. I promise. It's a complex business.
It's a complex business. But if you want the best, then go with the best.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
What about Rocky? Where does he fit in the picture? What about Rocky? If it wasn't for Rocky, we wouldn't all be here. Rocky can still train you. My God, he's done a wonderful job.
Now look here. Here's 20.
Okay, so that part was cut out of the original theatrical cut. Of course, that was the workers' print. We had a nice little makeout session between Tommy and Karen. Did you like that little kiss in there, Katie?
It's fine. I just think she's like cartoonish looking, so I can't take her seriously.
And of course, Tommy, to his credit, it was taken out of the film. I wonder why, but to his credit, he's actually still thinking about Rocky. He's not here in spite of Rocky. Even at this moment, he's okay. That's great. You're offering me these. What about? Oh, he's done a magnificent. So I mentioned this last episode, Jared. I want to hear your thoughts. There's a universe where Rocky could have said, "Oh, great. Sounds great. You got a manager. I'll train you to have a manager. So what would a Duke's plan been then?
If Rocky was along on this ride?
Yeah, so great. I'm not mad at you, Tommy. Sounds great. Enjoy the parade. I don't want you to miss the parade. Have fun.
This is all a long game for
That's
him
what
to get Rocky and Tommy to fight each other. I don't know. I think Duke would be squirming a little more. This is not the way it's supposed to be.
Jared, you're a Star Wars fan. It's basically Anakin's fall here. He's got Palpatine on his shoulders.
Sure.
But George Washington Duke is Palpatine here.
Yeah, he's manipulating him this whole time.
Yeah.
I figure he would have found some other way to make them hate each other if Rocky was on board with all this stuff.
20 grand. What's that in today's money? Probably
Like 50.
at least 50.
I'd still take 20 at this point. Come on.
No, so two things. You guys were saying a lot of words that I don't understand.
Star Wars
Palpatine.
nerds,
Yeah.
Star Wars.
Two, I don't recall in the theatrical version, George Washington Duke, he also gives Rocky more credit in the workers' print. We wouldn't be here today if it weren't for Rocky. I don't remember that being, that wasn't in the theatrical cut, right?
I don't think so.
No, it wasn't.
$1,000. Take it as an advance. Time to put some hustle behind this muscle. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
All right, now we're back to the Balboa Christmas. Wonderful scene to get you in the mood for Christmas. Yeah.
I got a question for you while we're sitting
course.
on this freeze frame.
Yep.
We are to believe this is Paulie's house from part one, from the first film.
It is a different house, clearly, but yes.
Because, yeah, like there's no stairs in the first movie. Are there?
Nope.
No, I didn't think so.
No, but they also have a different mansion in every.
Yeah,
in the,
that's true. And maybe
So-
once Rocky was giving him money, maybe he updated.
That's what I was trying to say. He did say, "Aren't you glad I kept the place?" Now,
Yeah.
keep in mind, he could have got the place in the third or fourth Rocky film. Like, he could have upgraded the place. I know we're led to believe that the place is, we're all thinking as Rocky fans and nerds that he's referring to the original home that I broke up the China set with the baseball bat.
He threw the turkey away.
Definitely. He lived in the mansion from 3 forward.
Yes.
So I just think he could have easily upgraded, though, at some point. Easily.
He popped the top and put a second floor on.
Because they not renovation, but just rented a different place or bought a different place. Because he would have got some sort of cut from Rocky, would have given him some sort of stipend or something.
Sure.
Literally the old neighborhood. He runs into people. It is supposed to be the original house.
Yeah.
I wish they just got something that looks something like it, but it's bigger. It's got stairs.
Again, there's a lot of criticism warranted for this movie. Like things like this.
Oh, yeah. Why don't they think like the fan? I don't know why film companies don't want to make money. I don't know why they don't just say, fans seem to enjoy this formula. Let's change it. I don't know.
I think we have talked about Sly's a big picture guy, not so much a details guy. And therefore there should be people on the staff that are, but
they're too afraid
at this time, you got to say yes to the boss. Most CEOs are that way.
Right. I've had bosses.
You can't say no.
You can't talk to them. You're right.
No.
You're right.
Yeah. I think the only consistent location that we return to in these movies is Mick's gym, where it looks.
Good point.
I think even in Creed, when he goes back to Mick's gym, it's a realistic updating of that space.
Yeah.
And it makes sense to me.
A gym is a gym, though. That's pretty easy to recreate.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
But the outside shot, though, they always return the outside shot. And I guess that's the point, is I feel like they do that because aesthetically it calls on the nostalgia as a film goer. Oh, that's Mick's gym. Oh, that's Paulie and Adrian's original house. No, it's not. Not at all.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to get off track on that.
Do you not listen to the show?
I was just going to say.
Okay. Yeah, of course.
Hello, Jared. This is the first time we're meeting.
This is what people pay money for. This is why they pay the big bucks.
Of course.
Okay, now Rocky's very excited, guys. He heard something on the roof. He can't believe what he just heard on the roof. Here we go.
Adrian, I can't believe we just come up on the roof. He just landed there and crashed, and who do you think it is?
Do I hear reindeer on my roof?
It's Rantlers. Unbelievable. It's like a
Rantler.
billion.
Yeah.
Oh!
Okay, Jared, but you're a dad and I'm a dad.
Yeah.
I watch Rocky do this and I'm like, I'm on board. I love it. I love that I'm embarrassing my kids. When I was younger, I thought Rocky was acting stupid.
Yeah.
But now that I'm a dad, oh no, he's just acting like a dad. He's being silly,
he's
goofy,
obviously he's enjoying himself a great
Yes.
deal, and that's what resonates with me. Rocky probably doesn't read the room very well because, like, by the time my daughter was Rocky Jr.'s age, I probably wasn't playing this kind of stuff with her. Maybe when she was younger, but
They're not 5.
no, they're teenagers.
No,
Yeah.
And
no.
I think chronologically they should be 5. But,
Like
you know,
9, yeah.
in the Rocky
Nine,
5
nine,
Time Warp wormhole universe,
Point.
Sage is drinking age now.
Maybe that's why he's doing this. In Rocky's head, his kid is still 9.
Yeah, he's like, wait, this is only 3 months separated from Rocky 3.
Whatever the age they are, they're tweens at the very least. I have a daughter who's 10 and a half going on to 14, and
Okay.
so it seems like just last year I could have been silly about reindeer. Now, not this year.
Sure.
It can happen very quick because Rocky's going to say, remember last year when we did? So this is very common for parents to experience,
And,
like, I don't like the silliness anymore.
Especially Christmas, because my daughter, she's 18, and she still likes for Santa to come. She doesn't want to see those gifts before Christmas morning. She wants to wake up and see new gifts.
You play along.
Yeah.
And we still do that.
We still do stuff from Santa too, and I have kids who are in their 20s, so we give them Santa from Santa. It's like socks.
Of course.
Big gifts, the one that cost me true coin, that's from me, boys.
You want credit for that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the Xbox is from Dad.
Yeah, that's right.
Somebody that I work with, she was saying that she's pissed because all presents come from Santa for their kids.
No.
I'm like, you shouldn't have started that.
Yeah,
like all presents come from Santa, and so she doesn't get credit.
It's a team effort to make Christmas fun. Parents and Santa, yeah.
But Ryan, I would say, to answer your question, I relate to his excitement.
Sure.
I just don't know if I would be acting like this.
That's where I was going, Ryan. Not necessarily him playing up the silly dad. It's the acting. It's another example of his weird, brain damaged acting. And it's really bad. It's really bad here.
I don't disagree, because I thought that too. I guess in this moment right now, I think he's being more silly dad, which when you're silly dad mode, you are being a little bit goofy. So I think you're right. There is already the brain damaged Rocky in there. But I think he's just being silly for Christmas, which just makes it a little bit worse.
Additionally, I wanted to point out this house, while in a bad neighborhood in Philly, the banister cap here is like crystal.
Yeah.
That's quite nice.
Maybe they stole it from the mansion before they got kicked out.
Oh, Donald brings up a good point that Rambo was friends with Santa in the cartoon universe.
Oh, you should have known that, Ryan.
I haven't seen all the Rambo cartoons. I don't think I ever will. There's too many. I only have so much time left on this planet.
Oh, come on. Look who's here. You know this guy.
You got a weird family. Don't I know?
It's going to be next Christmas before he gets down.
I do love how Robert is like sitting at the chair, comfy chair on the, almost like the Godfather-esque type mafia guy, and his little minions are at his feet. He's like, don't I know? The badass Robert, not my favorite Robert.
Yeah, agreed.
Is this Christmas Eve?
Yes, I think so.
And these kids are there, not at home.
Their home probably really sucks.
Yeah, I was just, yeah.
Yeah, it seems like Rocky's family really likes to host kids Christmas Eve. I don't know.
Yeah.
You know what Robert should have said there? What do you think I am, a nerd?
Yeah, good call.
Hey, they put it together for Santa. Hey.
Merry Xmas. Yo, yo, yo.
Hey, I don't think you got it right, Santa. No. It's ho, ho, ho.
What's the freaking difference? Where I come from is yo, yo, yo.
Oh, it's like we got a 90 proof Santa.
He's getting ready for his role in Entourage.
Yes, he is.
Line delivery, yeah. That's actually a good line, which I assume Sly wrote, which is great. Why is Robert not even laughing? Is he mad that he didn't come up with the joke, or is he mad that it says his uncle, even though he's irritated by the whole thing? That's a great joke, though. I thought it was.
He's embarrassed, probably.
Oh, maybe. But look how he's even sitting on the chair with his arms up on. He's the king.
You're right.
It's a very odd posture to have, and he's got his buddy in between his legs. You think his girlfriend?
That's weird. Wasn't Adrian kind of sitting like this in the first movie? Wasn't she sitting on the floor just in the first movie when they're sitting in this?
Watching the Christmas movie.
She had his arm over his leg. She had his arm over his leg.
Yeah, and he was sitting in this chair or what?
That would have been callback to have Jewel sitting like that. But yeah, I guess they got to
I guess they just
special
rather have
relationship.
his buddy just sit between the man spread.
No, when I was 14, as much as I liked my best friend at 14, I don't think I would have had him sit between my legs on the couch. I don't think nothing wrong with that, but just me. I think I would rather have my girlfriend there than my guy friend. That's just me, though. But yeah, each to their own.
Hey, Santa, tell all the kids what you got in the bag for them that you brought from the north.
Sweet little moment there. I just tell Leah Shire / Adrian, puts her head on her husband's shoulder. She's enjoying Christmas and she loves her husband. She's in a good place right now because she's with her husband and there's no
Tommy's
Tommy
not
here.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a sweet little moment. She's dead in 12 years. But anyways,
Oh, gosh.
I know. It's weird that Adrian's character is dead in 12 more Christmases.
Man.
It's depressing.
I got my laundry.
No, you got the whole bag.
Come on, Chubby, get out of the way.
Yeah, watch.
Chubby.
Take a seat.
Come on, Chubby, get out of the way.
Was that the friend or was that Chicky that he says that to?
That's the kid with the skater haircut.
Yeah.
Oh, is that what you call it, a skater haircut?
I don't know.
I call it something, but I can't say it. Come here, little boy. You've been nice. That's Paulie talking to Robert, I think.
Yeah.
Little boy.
Come here, little boy. You've been nice.
Uncle Paulie!
Come over here. Sit down.
Hey, kid, why don't you tell Santa what you need?
Stretching the clothes, man. I don't need nothing.
Come
Oh,
on, hey,
boy.
kid.
Yeah, I know. The whole
Big time in front of your friends.
Yeah. I don't need nothing.
I don't need nothing.
Yeah.
You're stretching my clothes.
I'd be like, oh, really? You don't need internet, cable, heat in your room? Cool. You're good
However, his uncle is trying to pull him down on his lap in front of his friends when you're like 14 or however
That's a
old
little
they're
weird.
supposed to be. Yeah.
Weird.
He's embarrassed.
Yeah. They are sharing a bed together. Maybe they're just very comfortable with each other.
Maybe.
I don't know. But yeah.
Tell Santa what you really want. Come on.
That ain't Santa. It's Uncle Paulie. Let's get real.
What do you mean get real? Why are you talking like that? We're just trying to have a good time and Santa's here and everything. And...
It's stupid.
Yo, come on, it ain't stupid. We're just trying to pretend here. But you're supposed to be pretending.
I had the TV on, off. Rocky turned it off when he came down. Paulie turns it on during the argument. Rocky turns it off again. Like, I just love that back and forth with the TV.
It reminds me of the over the top scene with the radio.
Remind me.
The kid who is also an annoying age, just like Robert is here. And his name's, no, it's Michael. Never mind. And they turn it on and off, the radio station.
Oh,
in the truck.
Yeah. I will probably die and never watch the film again.
I love it.
Why?
I love it so much.
I don't understand you. I don't understand it. And I love Sly, but there's some
I'll watch
films
it once a week and not get sick of it. I love
How is that possible? Stop
Over
it.
the top?
Yeah. Love it.
Holy cow.
Come on. Somebody come to my rescue here. Over the top. It's so fun.
I'm probably in the minority, maybe. I hate arm wrestling as a sport. I hate the kid in it. I don't like him just keep exercising his one arm in the truck. It's just, I don't like it at all. I don't like any of it.
I don't really like the kid in it either, but I really, truly love that movie.
Wow. It's weird. Katie, that is weird. And I love you. And I'm not even I'm not criticizing you. I just find that weird.
I swear, somebody, please come to my rescue.
Again,
Send the emails.
you're not alone. But I think people like it even when it came out. And I was like that age. Like it came out when I was, 11? 12. I remember when it came and I loved Rambo and Rocky. I was a Sly fan. This movie comes, I'm like, no thanks. This is dumb. It's weird. As a kid, I didn't like it.
The little montages of the characters in it. You get Robert Loggia. Sylvester Stallone looks like super hot in it too.
Probably part of what it is for you. That's got to be part of what it is.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Fair enough, and that's fine. That's fair. Yeah, what a waste of an opportunity for him to do something else.
It was so fun. I love it. Anyway, okay.
So Sly, and I'll say this 100 times. I love Sly, but boy, he has wasted so much time in his career.
That's not a waste, though. I treasure that movie.
That's fair. That's fine.
You're like, anywho, I've lost respect for you.
No, that is not. I'm not like that at all. I don't do that kind of. No, you like what you like. I don't want people to like what I like. But I'm surprised. I'm like legitimately surprised. But I didn't realize you liked it that much.
I really do.
Wow.
It's one of my favorite Sly movies. I really, truly love it.
Okay, Jared, what's your overall feeling on the arm wrestling?
I'm fine. I've seen it probably twice.
Yeah, you and I are the same.
80s gold.
I haven't watched it in many years.
Okay.
Maybe I should. rewatch it.
Go, let us know. Report back. Send an email. Let us know what your thoughts are.
You might have to take another 6-week course or something first. But
It's like this game.
I don't like pretending. Why don't you guys talk to Santa?
Hey, okay, I ain't talking to them. I'm talking with you here. See, it's very important that you spend time with the family and have a good time and just getting the spirit going. It's good, right?
Good for what? Come on, let's go.
So I do like how Rocky is like little Johnny come lately, trying to save his relationship with his son. And even Paul is, this is kind of
Polly knows it's going south quick.
Yeah.
He and Adrian give that knowing look like, oh, how ironic that he's
that's what I mean. That's what it's Johnny come lately. Like he's talking about saving his son and spending time together and pretending and all this stuff. I like when Robert says, you guys want to talk to Paulie? I'd be like, sure, Paulie, what do you got in the bag there, brother? What do you got? Yeah. But he's the leader of the gang. I think that's what we're led to believe here. Robert's the leader. Do you like the Christmas decorations? Pretty well done there. You got the red background curtain thing with the Christmas bell saying Merry Christmas on it, draped over the door.
Red background curtain thing.
But I remember more so for Halloween, those paper decorations that you'd put up, the paper pumpkins or skeletons or something. And then it's like that. It's a nice touch. Whoever set this. Well, it's realistic. Like this is the 90s. They don't have a lot of money. And then their Christmas cards.
I like the Christmas cards. I wonder who those cards are from. Who are they from?
I was thinking the same thing.
Their parents are dead.
The Creeds. Family. The Creed?
Well, no, they haven't talked since the funeral.
That's
remember?
Right.
Wow. Yeah.
Probably
Tony.
Fans, probably
Tony,
fans.
Duke, Tony.
Yeah.
Possibly. Interesting.
His friends are here. Maybe he doesn't want to.
Hey, Adrian, I know what he wants.
How do you know what I want?
Because I know you.
You know me? He thinks he knows me.
Okay, you know what? I'm like, you know how badly, man. If my son, I was like, okay, dude, you calm we're down right now. Okay, I get it. You think you're a man now, but I've raised 5 boys, and I've just never had this. I've never had any of this kind of talk back to me ever.
But you didn't kick your kid down to the basement and forget about him and go train some.
And it doesn't make me a great father. I'm not the best. I make mistakes, blah, 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 of course.
Sure.
I see these dramas and stuff. I know this stuff exists, but I guess I've just raised them in a certain way where it never you're right, though, Katie. I didn't do that. But he thinks he knows me. But if I see my kid like this right now, if I was Rocky, I'd be like, okay. I think Robert cares enough to have this conversation. There's something there. We can, of course, it does get built on, but I'm not a family therapist, but I would suspect that Robert, the way he's acting means he actually cares about something. There's still something there, right?
Oh, yeah. Because if he didn't, he wouldn't. Apathy would be.
Yeah,
sure.
Rocky's always been a kind, like at this time, it wouldn't be surprising that like the dad would smack him. I know Rocky wouldn't, but like, don't you dare talk back to me, son.
That was Paulie's kid.
Yeah.
But then that's a whole other issue. You're right. Once you've done that, now you've lost them. And there's no coming back. That's the environment that Robert's been raised in, where he knows he can do that. It doesn't make it bad or good. He's in a home where, he can yell at his parents. When Rocky's not yelling, the kid is yelling. So Jules, this is uncomfortable.
Has Tommy already moved out?
No, he's still in the basement.
Well, so they're all just going down to Tommy's bedroom to hang out?
Yeah, I would be careful to look under the bed.
Didn't we see him with the new apartment? Did we already see that?
He was shown the apartment, you're right, but I guess we never officially saw him move his things out. But you're right. I guess you could say he's there now with Karen. Now we're going to get to a deleted scene. There's a scene of them going to the basement. It's coming up right now.
Okay.
Look, I ain't celebrating nothing, okay?
Hey, wait a minute. Hey, yo, what's the matter with you? We always done this before. We always had a good time, Adrian.
He hit puberty, Rocky. Your kid hit puberty. Welcome to teenage life.
We don't have to change nothing, never. Do you remember last year when we had fun, when we had a good time?
And we had a mansion with money.
You were in Russia.
True.
You were fighting. I was at home with the robot.
Great point, Kate. So is this truly a year after the landing of the plane, or is this longer? The timeline is just...
It's just a movie mistake, but they just went with...
They were just
they're pretending like...
But easy script change. Remember previous Christmases? Would have been a save there. Remember other Christmases where we did this?
Really good point.
Don't mention last year's where I almost died in the ring with fighting a super creature.
Yeah.
But then he goes on to say, it ain't last year and you ain't the same either. So this is to indicate like it's Yeah. Tommy had 22 professional fights in 3 months. Yeah, I know.
You can't fix it. There's no reconciling.
Last year, and you ain't the same either.
What? Hey, Drew, what I do?
See, and I feel bad for Rocky because his heart is pure. Like, he's made an error training Tommy. He just got lost in the excitement. It's not evil. He didn't do anything evil, malicious. He just lost sight of what was really important. Getting excited about training somebody. And everyone else outside, like his entourage, his family, sees it. He didn't see it. And now it's coming to a head, so to speak.
Yeah.
And Adrian goes, go talk to him. Okay. Good advice.
Not in front of his friends, though.
Yeah. And we're going to see that scene that did not make it. Tell me if you think it should have stayed in the theater.
Go talk to him.
Even I could have saw this thing happening. I should have went to Miami when I had the chance.
All right. You still go, you drunk. No one's stopping you. It's not too late. Paul, are you sticking around to save the family? Go.
Good point.
Yeah.
Was this the same? Was he talking about it in this movie, the Gigolo thing? Was that the same movie?
That's
Okay.
Funny. That's why he's talking about. He should have been a gigolo.
Hey, how's everybody doing? You know, Santa sent me down to check you guys out. See everything.
Santa sent me down to check you guys out.
Why is it so dark?
It's just the work print. I don't know. It's weird. And they're playing rock and roll. They're showing, we're down here listening to some rock and roll, rebelling against our parents. We're not listening to the Christmas soundtrack music.
Hey, I like to tell you, though, if I turn this thing down a little bit.
Rocky's turning down radios, turning off TVs. I am the same way. If I had to talk to my kids, can you put your phone down so I can talk to you? Thanks.
What's wrong?
Nothing.
Nothing. Why'd you get so crazy on me up there?
That's the name of the game.
We got things to do, huh? Let's go.
Yeah, I know. Just talking all of a sudden, one word leads to another, and it started going. I like to talk. Can I talk with you?
Let's talk.
So you're my boy, and we're supposed to be close.
No, what you want is you and Tommy be tight. That's what you're really talking about.
I don't say that.
Since he's been here, it's Tommy this, Tommy that. You don't have no time for nobody, so I got no time for you. Let's go.
Wait, wait a second. You're like another person.
You're the other person. You said I would be number one to you. You said that and you lied.
I never lied to you. Tommy needed my help.
So did I.
Okay, so some of that part, of course, was from the original cut as well. The part that they cut out was just like Rocky's coming down, he's making peace. Good call on that, Katie. Like, why'd you get so crazy up there? That's the name of the game. That's the name of the game of being a teenager. But Rocky's a little bit confused, and he's actually hurt. Like, he's never been chewed out by his son before. And I think it pains him. He's equally as confused as he's hurt.
He's oblivious. This is really shocking him.
And remember when you said to watch out for scams and deceptions?
Yeah?
You're the one that should have watched out.
Ooh.
Dropping some knowledge.
How does Robert know about George Washington Duke? He's saying, you've lost your fighter. You've been scammed and deceived. Or else what's he referring to?
Tommy.
How does he know Tommy's gone to the dark side?
I see your point, Ryan, but we could explain it away.
Yeah, I guess you did. I guess you're right. He's just very astute. He's a smart guy. I know, but I just love how Robert even knows his dad has lost Tommy.
I can't stand the way he says deceptions. I don't know. Earlier in the film, he goes, "You're talking about deceptions." Nobody talks that way.
Robert does.
I guess it's just like a robot.
When Robert talks, it makes you feel stupid. That's what he does.
Okay.
Where are you going? Out. When are you coming back? Later. Later. When?
Season's greetings, Mrs. Balboa.
Good evening.
Oh my God.
Looking Santa. I'm missing bids, a nice touch.
The maniacal laugh.
They make fun of Paulie when Paulie walks out. This is for the workers' friend, of course. They make fun of Paulie.
Good evening. That's an interesting looking Santa. I'm missing bids, a nice touch, don't I?
That's
missing what? Missing beard.
Missing
Missing beards is a nice touch. And there's Paulie out there to bust some chops. He knows about these things. He's not afraid to break thumbs. But that's the thing is, Paulie talks a big talk, but he just lets him walk right into the house.
Lets him in.
I thought he was supposed to be the tough guy. He's not afraid to break thumbs.
Yeah. It's been a while since he's worked for Gazzo, so probably hasn't
maybe.
broken arms or thumbs in a while.
But didn't he fight somebody when he got retired from the Rocky Balboa? Didn't he have a black eye or something?
He said he punched himself in the face.
Yeah, but I think we're led to believe he got into a fight with the boss, probably.
Oh, yeah. Good point. Oh, this old style limo, too.
Yeah. It's just a long car. This is your typical 80s car, but it's just 4 cars attached to each other.
You take care of these people.
Ooh, Adrian.
All the Santa Paulie season.
I love
What does that mean?
I don't know.
Oh, you know what it means? The workers' print calls it out. That's an interesting Santa and the no beard. So I think he's saying because he doesn't have a beard, he can be a Santa for all.
Sure.
He's a Santa for all 4 seasons of the year.
Yeah.
I love Richard Gant in this whole scene. Season's greetings, my lord. He's so goofy and funny.
Oh, it's great.
This would have been a fun role to play.
Yeah, we don't want your presents. I'll give them to the neighbors.
He's great. He just rolls over things. But yeah, Paulie, let's see how you do as a bouncer here, Paulie.
You guys lost?
Au contraire, mon ami. I know exactly where I am.
Yo, Rocco, guess what's coming to dinner?
Did you lie? No, you didn't lie. You did nothing, These kids, sometimes they change when they get, more hair and things.
Rocco!
Yeah?
At first, I was like, oh, this is sweet. And then he ruined it.
when they get more hair.
So he does mention puberty. Rocky's still down there contemplating. He's trying to figure out, where did I go wrong?
Yeah.
It's actually a sweet little scene because you just see he wasn't meaning to be the bad dad. He's legitimately confused where it went wrong. He's trying to why kids do change when they become teenagers. Maybe I never lied to him. I don't remember lying to him.
He got his pubes. I don't understand.
He is a hairy kid. I never caught Paulie's reference to Guess Who's Coming to Dinner before.
He looks over Richard Gant's shoulder to look at Tommy and Karen, though, when he says that.
Okay.
I've always really loved Paulie as a character for some reason. Everything he does is very specific. I love how Sly writes Paulie to be very specific and quippy.
Yeah. Paulie, he don't like those people.
Maybe they don't like you much neither.
They bring weird presents.
Tommy Gunn's got new friends. New friends for a new year.
This maniacal laugh.
See, I love how Adrian's mad at him. You didn't do anything. You literally let these people walk right in. She's like, oh, Paulie, good for her. She's had enough of this. And I get it. When there's someone you don't like, you really don't want to see them, let alone Christmas Eve. This is a really bad Christmas for the Balboas.
Good point. And she meant business. She was like, take care of this.
Yeah.
And then he didn't.
She should have. Because she's the one with the cojones in this family.
Now, you see how this shot is framed, though? This does look almost exactly like the first movie.
Good point.
The framing and the furniture and the TV and all that.
I wonder if I have to go back and watch the first Rocky film. If you could almost argue we just never see the stairs.
Yeah, maybe.
Huh. Okay. All right. Fair enough. You're right about that, Jared. Good call.
Nice street.
Good call on that.
Charming.
Yeah.
Charming. Yeah, quite cozy.
That was it for the workers. They took that part out. Oh, very cozy.
Quite cozy.
But they took that literal 2 seconds out of the original cut. And we go back to the good theatrical cut.
Hey, Tommy, how you doing?
Merry Christmas, my lord. Greetings.
Yeah, how you doing?
Listen, I don't want to take up too much time. I just want to come by and give a little season's greetings.
I don't need no presents.
I'd give them to the neighbors. Look, you've done a hell of a job with the man. Facts are facts. I'd have to be blind if I didn't say a title shot isn't in the cards.
Title shot?
That's right, title shot. Now we're going to work beautifully together. No problems. No friction. Only harm.
So he steps over Paulie's legs. I like how Paulie didn't move his legs. It's a good little moment there. He looks at Paulie. Are you going to move your legs? Paulie's, nope, not going to move my legs. He has to step over Paulie.
Good point.
Yeah.
I hate all the fur in Rocky movies. There's an excessive amount of it.
It's all fake fur. Don't worry. Full fur. It's faux fur. Don't worry, Katie. I promise. It's full leather, full fur, and it's all fake. Stallone's hair. It's all fake fur.
It's time to put some hustle behind this muscle. Tommy boy here's got a little something personal to discuss with you. So I'm going to be saying good night. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you.
Wonderful man.
There, they took that part out. Karen just says, wonderful man.
Wonderful man.
Why would they take that out?
I don't know. She is just a propaganda machine. I don't know why they took that out.
See you soon, huh?
Bye.
Sorry I'm late. I got hung up having dinner.
Yeah, well, there was a lot of traffic in there. Hey, Tommy, Adrian cooked something, but it's probably all cold.
It's a lot of traffic.
On Christmas Eve.
So they can make sandwiches.
All we can do is make sandwiches. This is no
Rocky,
big...
I want to make sandwiches.
That's no big deal.
Tommy, why did you bring him here?
He just wanted to come by. Rocky, mind if I talk to you outside about a few things?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Again, to Tommy Morrison's credit and Tommy Gunn's character's credit, that's really good acting. You hear the voice cracking. It's like he sounds nervous because he knows he's about to break Rocky's heart and or tell Rocky, like, Duke's giving me some opportunities here that you weren't doing. And now he gets defensive and angry, but he isn't that way now.
He's rebuked by Adrian, and that seems to bring him down a few pegs.
He's not going to yell at Adrian or get mad at Adrian.
Yeah.
Of course, he'll get knocked out by Rocky right there. But you hear in Tommy's voice that quiver. I think it's just great acting by a non-actor. He's nervous, and you could tell he knows what's coming. And he does use anger, but I think it's used later as a defense mechanism, not as, I'm angry at you, Rocky. You ever been in a fight with someone you love? It didn't start that way. You came in with hat in hand, but it ended up, oh, I got called out for some BS, and then you get angry because I got called out. How dare you get angry at me?
Yeah.
It's getting late. We have to be there by 10. Rocky.
No, it's okay.
All right. So we'll stop it there. Big scene coming up. Yeah. Jared, what are your overall thoughts there on what we covered today in Rocky V land?
Talking about Rocky V is always an interesting experience. I think in our conversation today, we talked about the time travel plot holes, and you compared it favorably or unfavorably to other movies in the series. And when you take it in isolation, that's one thing I like about your examination of the film that you're doing on the podcast, especially with the work print, which I have seen, but I'm not overly familiar with. It puts a whole new spin on Rocky V. I just think your examination of the work print alongside the theatrical cut is very interesting, and it breathes new life into what for me is my least favorite of the movies, but it's fascinating. And I liked what we talked about today. Richard Gant, again, just having left that scene. Every time I see that, it makes me laugh, just the way he's acting. And it was awesome that you had him on the show a while back, on your original show.
Yeah,
you should plug that interview.
I got to get it up there and put it on this feed. It's on the last of the Action Heroes podcast feed, but it's buried at the beginning.
If you just search for Richard Gant, listeners, you would find it
on YouTube as well. If you search Richard Gant interview, Going the Distance, or with Ryan or something, it'll come up.
In the last of the Action Heroes podcast network, if you have that podcast open, you just in your search bar.
Is that how it works?
Yeah. It searches by episodes then.
Oh, okay.
Like, at least on my podcast player.
What app do you use?
Pocket Casts. But once you're in the podcast, you can search episodes.
Okay.
So you just search Richard Gant in the feed, and it should bring that.
Okay. And you've inspired me today. I'm going to actually watch Rocky and look at the differences between the two houses and see if it's the same thing.
Exterior is.
Yes, the exterior is definitely the same.
But interesting. I'd never caught that before. We happened to pause it. You're right, Jared. That angle, I'll give it to you. Yeah, it was like, okay, that looks like that one passes. Maybe we just never see the camera. The closest we might get is when they're on the couch before the baseball bat scene. What do we see behind? That's Do we see enough over their shoulder of a wall or stairs over their shoulder? I don't remember.
Yeah. I don't think there's stairs there. Clearly, it's a different set, and they had to have stairs for the purposes of this movie.
Of the Rantler.
Yeah.
Because one of the bedrooms in the original movie was at the back of the house, past the kitchen. That's where Adrian's bedroom was. So I think it's like actually is different, but given that scene, they did make some attempts to make it look.
I think that's the middle ground, that they want us as a viewer to think it's the same house with that angle. Okay.
P.S. before the episode is over.
Yeah, please.
You won't be shocked at what I'm going to say. I found someone on my side.
Regarding what?
Over the Top. Donald says he's with me. Great soundtrack. The best arm wrestling movie ever made. So just
Best arm wrestling movie ever made. Wow. Congratulations.
Of 4 of them. No,
Yeah.
I know.
Go check out my review of Over the Top on the Sylvester Stallone Podcast Network with Craig and Doug. And I can't remember my exact feelings, but I think I just overall, I don't like the sport of arm wrestling or slapping. There's something about those sports that stress me out. So I don't know what it is, but the whole idea of bending an arm, and then there's a scene in Over the Top where the arm breaks for real, Katie. It's in the
I know.
They keep
that
it
was
in
a
the
real
film.
tournament that they filmed.
It's a real arm break.
I know.
They keep it in the film. Jared, did you know that?
I did not know that.
Yeah, have fun watching that when that comes on, everyone. Okay. However, with that, this episode is over.
I didn't hear no bell.